Now, the purpose of this flight is because we are on our way to look at an airplane. And this airplane, guess what, guys? That airplane is a
visibility 10, sky clear, temperature -1, dew point -4, altimeter 3023, visual approaching Houston, parting runway 17 left, runway 17 right, 1028 available. No ceremony, use caution, simultaneous operations, close to separate parallel runways. Departures advised ground control 1 runoff is complete, remain on ground control frequency until advised. VFR departures advised ground direction of flight. Runway 17 left and right, runway condition code 555. Runway 1028, runway condition code 80% frost, 10% 1/4 inch dry snow. Use caution for GPS abnormalities in the Denver area. Advise on this contact, Deviated Zulu.
Javier, get the notepad and get it ready.
Clear for Foxtrot, you'll be following the Learjet.
You're going to get ready for the
behind them.
run-up checklist.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. 834 Alpha Fox.
Rotation 7.
Brake set.
Brakes are set.
Fuel proper tank.
Fuel is on the left tank, and we'll leave it there.
Trim for takeoff.
Trim for takeoff. Set.
Flight controls.
Flight controls.
Ground Skyhawk 33.
Free and correct.
Instruments.
Instruments are good, except with the oil. We'll let the oil warm up as we do the run-up.
Alright, I think this says enunciating panel, something like that.
No enunciations, we're good. Good morning, Centennial Ground. Cherokee 3620 Whiskey at Charlie 1, run-up complete. We'll be departing eastbound today.
Cherokee 20 Whiskey at runway 17 left, taxi Alpha.
17 left, yeah, Alpha 3620 Whiskey.
020 Whiskey, monitor tower.
20 Whiskey to tower, see you in a bit.
7 left.
Means a 31 Alpha left downwind.
Left downwind, 31 Alpha.
Cross 17 left and contact ground 20.
No winds today.
Fast track 15.
Looks like a beautiful day to fly today.
Taxi via Bravo.
Fast track 15, can we actually go back?
And then we should get good performance since it's colder, right?
Running 17 left at Bravo 8.
So the altitude here is about 5,800 feet, and the density altitude is 5,300.
Bravo 217, right, 20.
We'll get better performance today.
Archer 2 Foxtrot Golf, turn right, your discretion.
Set our altitude to 7,500 feet.
Cherokee 3620 Whiskey, Centennial Tower, running 17 left, line up await traffic, will cross downfield.
3620 Whiskey, 17 left, lining up and waiting.
Fast track 15 traffic, holding in position, full length, cross, running 17
All
left.
right, fuel pump on. No one is coming for landing.
Cirrus 4 Hotel Sierra, traffic.
And it's clear on the left as well.
Southwestbound, right turn to the northwest on course approved.
Right turn approved, looking for traffic, 84 Hotel Sierra, thanks.
Cherokee 20 Whiskey, fly straight out, runway 17 left, clear for takeoff, wind calm.
Straight out, 17 left, clear for takeoff, 3620 Whiskey. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Got some slush on the runway.
Traffic.
Power slowly in. course, 3620 Whiskey. Have a great one. All right, east on course. Let's turn eastbound.
Premier 0 Sierra Alpha traffic depart trends a Cherokee turning eastbound. Wind calm, fly runway heading, runway 17 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading clear for takeoff, 17 left, Premier 390 Sierra Alpha.
We'll stay at 7,500 feet until we clear the Class B airspace. You have to stay under 8,000 feet around this area. There's 7,500.
The traffic's short final. Change to runway 17 left, runway 17 left, clear to land.
Let it build speed. And we're out of Class Delta, so we'll give them a little bit of more time in case they need us for anything. But then we can switch the radios. We're flying VFR today, so we don't need to monitor the radios as we go along. And this is it. We're going straight eastbound. We can just follow this road all the way to that airport. I just don't know how long this road is, son.
Yeah, might turn.
Welcome to Flying Dirty. So today we are having some GPS issues in the area, and the FAA did put out a warning about the G5 interfering with GPS. Go figure. So there have been reports of GPS sort of malfunctioning around the Denver area. And we did just get a notice about the GPS here that it lost contact. So we need to keep now our bearing. There it is, GPS, no position available. Well, that's not bueno.
05 Hotel, where are you parking?
So it appears that we cannot use the autopilot on GPSS mode right now because the GPS is faulting, no position available. So we could still use the autopilot on heading mode and it'll work just fine. But I'm just gonna hand fly it for now and have a little fun. But that is the thing too, is you have to be aware of that. I mean, right now with all of this fancy equipment that we have aboard the airplane, a lot of people forgot to fly old school. Old school, we didn't have any of these gizmos. The best thing I had when I started learning how to fly in 1998 was a Loran, and you were lucky to find a training airplane that had a Loran. But that was the best thing you had. You pretty much had to fly with your VORs and dead reckoning. So that's what we're going to have to do now, is just fly with our VORs and some dead reckoning. Now again, dead reckoning, so we're going due east, so all I do is follow these lines straight due east, and that should keep me right on the heading, actually. Okay, so we are out of the Denver 8,000 foot boundary. So now this is the 10,000 foot boundary, so let's see if we get some better air up above. So let's climb to 8,500.
We can just do that on VFR?
Oh yeah, son. VFR, you can pretty much, you're on your own.
Oh, okay.
So you have to look out.
Altitude.
You have to look out for traffic and everything. So here's the situation. So because we live in Denver and my kids are growing, Javier is stretching really fast. Isabel, she's growing really fast. They're not going to get any lighter. So I had bought the Cherokee 6 because we need
altitude
to use as much useful load as possible. And I also had in mind that I needed something that had more room for the future. And we are experiencing that right now. So we took a family trip and we flew to Dallas and then we flew to Florida. But when we took off out of Denver, even though it was cold and the density altitude was around 5,200 if I remember correctly, we still had a clumsy climb. But nevertheless, I do feel that the climbing performance really drags whenever we load the airplane up. I mean, we're talking about full fuel and loaded with fuel 504 pounds and then close to 1,000 pounds of payload. So that being said, you know, the airplane gets pretty heavy and it gets pretty clumsy. In a situation like this, being that we are in Denver, it would be a very good idea to have turbos, especially when you're going over the Rockies, because you can climb over them at a safe distance, and you don't have to go all the way around like I do, because some of those peaks are pretty high, and I don't want to have to go around all the time. But in this case, with the Cherokee 6, I do, when it's fully loaded. If it's not loaded, this thing will climb like a rocket. As you saw today, we were climbing at around 900,000 feet a minute. But nevertheless, that's why we need a turbo. We're trying to get a turbo. Here, let me recycle this, see if it works. Hopefully, if we recycle it, it'll get our map back. Oh, still no GPS. All right, so we did recycle the GPS, and it's still not working. So, like I said, Denver area is having GPS issues right now. So this is when you have to know your bearings and your headings. All right, so nevertheless, so we're running into a problem, and the problem is that we want a turbo. We want a turbocharged airplane. So we looked at the Malibus, and we almost bought one, but when I started doing the research, I mean, I love the Malibus, great airplane. Everyone I talked to, they loved the airplane. But when I started doing the research on the Malibu, the insurance rates were going to be pretty expensive. And then the maintenance was going to be pretty expensive as well. Let's turn on a little heat here. This is getting a little chilly. So I had to ask myself, do I really want to deal with that issue? And the answer was no. Because we also have a few other business things going at the moment where I don't really want to, I'd rather put the money into the business as opposed to fixing an airplane or having it in maintenance or paying for high insurance rates. So it kind of took the Malibu out of the equation. Now,
GPS back.
Oh, we got our GPS back. Look at that. Yes, sir. Finally, it's working. So, but as you can tell, even without GPS, both the camera is still recording, but we're still right on the magenta line, and we don't even have the autopilot on. So, again, this is what is called dead reckoning. Now, we do have some scattered clouds around here. Now, the temperature is 28, just some light litter layers, but nevertheless, we are flying VFR, so we have to stay away from the clouds. So now, we looked into, like, for example, an 836 Bonanza. But again, not just an 836, it has to be a turbocharged 836. And we did find one at a reasonable price, but when I looked into it, it was sold. It was taken. So when I called the guy about the Bonanza, he said that within 2 hours, it already had a contract on it. So I missed out on that opportunity. But an 836 turbocharged would have been a pretty good option. Now, we would have lost useful load. So we can work with that. I mean, we're not going to be able to pack like we normally pack because we go crazy packing, as you can see from these other videos. I mean, we pack, you know, and I think that's where the issue is. And this is why I say, what did we get ourselves into? Because I bought this Cherokee 6, and we've been so accustomed to the big useful load that we just load. We pack whatever we can find and take it with us. And that's the beautiful thing about the Cherokee 6 is that you can do that. With these other airplanes, you really have to watch what you pack. So that's the problem, you know, that we're dealing with. That's why I say, what do we get ourselves into? I mean, it looks like we're stuck with this airplane for a while. Here, we need to slow down because it's getting pretty bumpy. So we need to take our speed back a little bit here.
Oh, we were going fast.
Yeah, we were going pretty decent. We were going about, what, 160, 170?
Yeah, it was at 163.
Yeah, so we're going to have to slow it down a little bit now. There we go. All right, so that's the dilemma that we're dealing with, guys. Now, the purpose of this flight is because we are on our way to look at an airplane. And this airplane, guess what, guys? I'll give you, I'm not going to give you anything. I'll give you kudos if you can guess what that airplane is, but I'm going to tell you the answer anyway, so if you're going to comment, make sure you comment now, not after I give you the answer. So I'll let you...
That's cheating.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll let you guess as to what airplane it is that I'm looking into. Here, let's switch fuel tanks. Let's put it on the right tank. And let's reset our timer. There we go. So guys, that airplane is a turbo Saratoga. I'm about to go take a look at the airplane. And if I like it, I may put an offer on that airplane. But here's what we'll do. We got an alternative here. The price of this airplane is reasonable enough to where we could buy it and we could still keep the Cherokee 6.
This could be my training airplane.
But yeah, you've been training on this one, but no, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. Because again, if we keep this airplane, this could be your airplane. But option number one is we can keep the airplane. And option number two is we can sell the airplane. So there's a chance that we may be putting 3620 Whiskey up for sale if everything pans out. So again, the purpose of buying a turbo Saratoga is for Denver. If I didn't live in Denver, I more than likely wouldn't even worry about a turbo. I'm comfortable cruising at 8,500 feet, and even if you get a turbo, most people with turbos, to get efficiency and everything out of the airplane, they climb anywhere between 10, 11,000 feet, some at 12, but they do that to avoid oxygen. Once you get over 12,500 over 30 minutes, you must wear oxygen, and if you go over 14,000 feet, you have to wear oxygen at all times. So most people, in order to avoid oxygen, that's what they do is they just go lower with a turbocharged. You can still get a very good benefit from flying a turbocharged engine at 10,000 all the way to 12,000 feet. If we do get this Piper Saratoga, we'll end up keeping this one. I got to tell you, I love this Cherokee 6. I love what I've done to it. And like I said, it could be a good training airplane for him. And I'll keep it for a little while. We'll see. Time will tell what we do. Let's just put it like this. If I put him in training classes, he more than likely will be training at a flight school with their own airplanes.
Like a Cessna or something.
Yeah, and I prefer that because then we will not put a lot of wear and tear on this airplane. When you do your flight instruction for your private, boy, it's a lot of hours. You're talking about a lot of hours of flying just to get your privates, and a lot of wear and tear on the airplane because you have to do a lot of touch and goes and landings, and where you're not used to landing, sometimes your landings they're pretty bad, hard landings and things like that. But I don't want to do that wear and tear on this airplane. But that's where we're at, guys. So let me know what you think. So right now we're going to go ahead and keep on cruising to Kansas. And we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted, see what happens regarding the airplane. Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. But if we do get it, it'll be a very good surprise and a good addition to the Flying Dirty family. All right, guys, so here we are. We are cruising. We're descending down to 5,500 feet. We are about 21 nautical miles from the airport. Now, Javier has been flying most of this flight. He's done a really good job. He pretty much kept us within 100 feet of the altitude in about 90% of the times. He struggled a little bit with the heading, but I think it was because of the wind correction. It kept pushing him to the right. And once he nailed that down, he started doing really good on that. So we are getting ready for our approach. take a look at this Piper Saratoga. We may be coming out with a turbo Saratoga here shortly. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to sell this one, if I buy that other one. Other than that, don't really need two airplanes, except those days where we do need to pack a lot of stuff, because if we buy the Saratoga, then we're going to have to trim the useful load. We're going to have to really watch our what, son?
I had an idea, right? So let's say I get my license and everything, and then we have to do like a trip, and then I could take like Isa and her stuff, and then we could just like split it up. That way.
No.
Why?
A lot of fuel, Javier. Talking about double the fuel whenever we do a trip. I don't think so.
I pay. Okay. An idea.
Yeah. No, if it's heavy, like if we have to carry a lot of stuff, then we'll just take the Cherokee 6. So that's the great thing again about the Cherokee 6. Now again, because we're in Denver, I really want to have a turbo in Denver. That's why I really want a turbo. Other than that, I wouldn't be looking for a turbo. But let me tell you, everyone that I know that has a turbo, they would not go back to a non-turbo engine. But all right, let's get ready for our landing. We got to make our radio calls. We're 5,500 feet. We need to descend to 2,600. So let's get ready for our landing, guys. Fuel pump. We'll just park it here somewhere. Looks like they have the fuel there. So there it is. Oh, she's a beauty.
Wow, I like it already.
She looks nice. Oh boy.
Has curtains too.
Yep. Oh, she's a beauty, guys. Ooh, man. Sweet looking airplane. Anyway, guys, wish me luck. We might buy it. We might not. There's the airplane right there. Turbo Saratoga. We'll keep you guys posted. All right, son. Let's power it down. Do you remember the steps? What do you do first? Nope. So the first step is we shut down avionics.